Record.
Even though technology offers a method to reach every student, research suggests that teachers themselves have really become a barrier in the way of 21st century education. And all that's needed is really just appropriate implementation. Hi, my name is Gary Hunt, and I'm with Western Governors University, and I'd like to thank you for viewing my video. With my first point, I'd like to cover how American students are not learning the skills they need in order to compete in college or the global job market. My second point will show that even though school districts have embraced technology in the classrooms, few actually have a plan to deploy and properly train teachers to use that technology. I'll then conclude and follow up with two audience questions. In 2009, Etta Bird wrote that the traditional education model was really set in concrete. Teachers taught in classrooms, isolated from society, while students read books, listened to lectures, took tests, and then moved on to the next subject. Top employers across the world are looking for the most skilled and innovative people to hire. Students need new skill sets to succeed, so 21st century education really must encompass what the students need to thrive, such as critical thinking and problem-solving skills. According to Gordon, a 2007 report was compiled by educators and employers, and this report found that schools are not coming close to developing the technical skills students will need to enter the workplace and study, and the study further found that schools were barely using technology at all. Carey in 2006 wrote that only 51% of sophomores in American high schools were enrolled in programs defined as college prep. He further wrote that only 31% went on to actually complete the college prep curriculum. There's ample evidence that students in American schools are not being taught the skills needed to be productive members of today's society. 21st Century Schools LLC, an independent company specializing in professional staff training and curriculum design, provided this graphic showing the differences between traditional and 21st century classrooms. Traditionally, students were taught from textbooks. The learning cycle was time-based, and the focus of learning was the memorization of facts. All activity was kept within four walls and in isolation. The curriculum was fragmented, and the teacher was the sole judge of the student's success. In the 21st century, students are surrounded by technology and have a massive amount of information at their fingertips. And because of this, they're really no longer bound by the availability of books. In fact, the world of information is really at their fingertips via the internet. With this availability, it's not the research that is important as much as their ability to vet that information enough to be able to use it to their advantage. In 21st century classrooms, the students are research-driven, the learning cycle is outcome-based. The focus of learning is what the students know, what they can do, and how they're changed by the process. The classroom is no longer the center of all activity. The students' activity includes working collaboratively with fellow students both at home and globally. The curriculum is integrated and interdisciplinary, and the teachers are really no longer the center of attention. The student is. The teacher is the coach or the facilitator. School districts have embraced technology in the classroom, but few have a plan to deploy and properly train teachers in order to use that technology. Gordon wrote that there are too many districts investing in technology with neither a long-term vision for how it will be utilized, nor any method of measuring success. Last year, a study by Walden University's Riley College of Education and Leadership found technology training may focus on the operation of equipment, but not on how to incorporate it effectively into instruction. Magner, who is the executive director of the Partnership for 21st Century Skills, says that American teachers look at technology as a way to improve their traditional lesson plans instead of providing students with the interdisciplinary learning experience. Teachers are immersed in technology, but the school districts have not been able to follow through with adequate training and support. Evidence shows that many teachers merely tolerate technology and are not exactly sure where and how to use it to the best effect, according to Gordon. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one small step. Teachers and school districts need to forge forward with 21st century education as a team. I'll now entertain questions. Yes?
You have mentioned that teachers aren't exactly sure how and when to use the technology they have. Why is this happening?
Well, studies show that teachers are looking at technology as an expensive pencil, really, rather than a valuable learning tool that'll help give them the skills they need in order to compete in the 21st century. Research conducted by Walden University shows that teachers who are frequent technology users report greater student benefits from its use, whereas infrequent technology users feel just the opposite. Other research shows that teachers throughout America barely tolerate technology, and they look at it as a way to fix the 20th century teaching methods, as opposed to building up the 21st century teaching methodology. Yes?
Why are the old traditional ways of education being thrown out? They seem to have benefited America up to this point.
Actually, the traditional methods aren't working. Ample research shows that American-born college students are actually at a major disadvantage because they own the wrong skill sets than what is required by today's business world. Wetzel is the vice president of the National Council for the Advanced Manufacturing, points out that if American students and workforce expect to compete in the global marketplace, they're going to have to develop world-class knowledge and skills that are based on world-class standards. Wetzel also went on to say that as of 2007, there were over 50 sets of standards, of academic standards in the United States, none of them world-class. I'd like to thank you very much.